Brother, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything.
That's my boy!
Wimp.
I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander War. Don't be a cunt.
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
Fuck you, Mr. Rascal.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do? People know love the truth.
Shut the fuck up.
It's true. That's why we gotta shine a light. We gotta shine a light. Oh, yeah. Together forever. Yeah. Tom's Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom's Generation Next. Yeah. Tom's Generation Next. The Unity Channel. Hero News and now. Tom's Generation Next. We're gonna shine a light. Generation.
Yo, Tom Fury Zero News. I had a problem starting up then, which some of you may have noticed. So, if that's the case, I may have lost my notifications. It may have blown my notifications for the day. Which, if it does, means that I'm not going to get out properly. People won't get notified. So, you might end up watching this on replay. So, I haven't got too long because I'm still weighing up going out tonight, going camping. But that's another story. I've still been doing some research, and I think it's obvious at this point in the game that when it comes to the Middle East, especially Israel, I'm certainly not an expert. I think we've established that, right? And so, as I'm pushing the AI, because the problem with any subject like this, any subject in the world, is once it's been politicised, it's very difficult to find unbiased information. You can find information, but unbiased information is very, very difficult. So, been pushing the AI, been reading what I can, been doing what I can. Not going to tell you I'm in a world of being an expert. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. In fact, I'm still right at the beginning of the journey. However, I can see something coming, I think, the way things are going. And so I want to explain something to you now, because, yeah, the way things are looking at the moment doesn't look good for Israel. Not in terms of the things that I'm finding. Don't get me wrong, doesn't look good for certain other countries either, America included. But in terms of the particular inquiry into the Middle East, you know, again, Saudi Arabia have been covering for 8 years. So, in looking into Israel, as I said, I can see trouble coming in terms of what I'm finding and what I'm going to find. So I want to be very, very fucking clear on this. And this should be clear for my videos of anybody that remembers me. But 8 years ago when I started this, well, many of you may have known what a Zionist was. I used to see people mention it on the internet. I used to think it was about 5% of internet weirdos using this weird Zionist word. And everybody would call everybody a Zionist. I mean, all the time. Everybody just called everybody a Zionist. And I never looked it up. And I never really knew what it meant, because it just seemed like a word everyone was trolling each other with. I mean, literally everyone was calling everyone else a Zionist when I first started this on YouTube 8 years ago. So it just seemed like a word everyone was either a Zionist or a shield back then. So I just ignored it. And I see people trying to pin it on our movement, but then I see people in our movement just deny it. So again, I ignore it because I see no credit to it. Then I find out it's meaning a homeland for the people, right? And it makes sense. What's been scary is, just like my own government, just like with Britain, where you think it's going to take a big, deep conspiracy theory to find out what they're up to. Actual fact, just the smallest amount of inquiry will show you that our government has been operating in the open for ages. They don't give a fuck what you think. They don't hide it. And so you can look at what a lot of what our government's been up to, and it's out straight out in the fucking open that they're trying to ruin you. And Starmer's made it even more abundantly clear since he's got into power. Well, same with Israel. The stuff that I've been finding is not exactly hidden. Nobody's hiding it. There's nothing that I've had to go to Bill's suspicious website to get. So far, it's been facts from multiple AIs double-checked through search engines. It's been reading, it's been talking to educated people, it's been talking to people in and out of Israel. And yeah, it's been a mixture of different things. Still, again, in terms of my understanding compared to other people, there's a long way to go. But I think this question I had of why were some people within inside what I would think would have been the same group saying that other people were not Jewish, and I didn't understand it. But I think maybe I'm beginning to understand it now. If they're talking about biblical terms, I think that might be what they're trying to tell me. I'm talking about people from within Israel. I think that they don't consider the Zionists, the hardcore Zionists, some of them don't consider them to be Jewish, which I thought was really odd. But I wonder if they mean it in a more biblical sense now. Again, I know many people know more than I do. But I don't, with something like this, subjects like this attract so much conspiracy theory that again, I don't want to fall down a rabbit hole and waste a load of time on theory. I want fact. But yeah, finding things out, just the simplest things, like really a lot of what's going on now started with a anti-Semitism campaign, which was started off at the end of the 19th century or 20th century, end of 19th century, and it was that guy Herzl who was trying to make a deal with the British because he knew their capital and their power would be needed to make a deal, to make a, what would you call it, a political, but also I forget what it's called, there's a specific name for it. I can't think at the moment, sorry. But a specific type of deal that carries massive weight. And this is why they're still angry with us now. We haven't got an empire anymore, but they wanted us to finish this deal. But this deal that was supposed to be against anti-Semitism. Now, somebody said I was close to the mark one day when I said that, with racism, people have overcompensated, and sometimes they try and overrepresent, like with DEI, and because and they're overrepresenting. And I said to a guy before who, in Israel, do you think Jews are overrepresented because of what happened in World War II? And someone said to me, "Oh, you're close to the mark." Well, 1949, Israel turns. And this is fact. Israel turns what was originally for anti-Semitism into a defensive mechanism. In 1949, they turned it into an expansionist mechanism. It meant a mechanism of global expansion. Maybe the idea was to control the world so the world couldn't turn on them. I don't know. I don't know, right? Motives. Does any country need a motive to abuse its power. Any country on this planet, including your own. Does any country need an excuse to abuse power? No. So, whatever the reason was, it usually comes down to power, right? So with this, and then you see that the British Parliament is the reason why buildings get knocked over by Israel, because Westminster holds that kind of power there. But what's more fascinating is that sorry, I know I'm being a bit slow here, I'm trying to recall some things, is that the power that they've got to make or break, to be a kingmaker, in terms of, when I say they, I mean the rules, in terms of you have to support Israel if you want to become a prime minister in this country. It is considered to be, by all of the political experts and basically the people that are even going to allow you anywhere near power, to be the safe political position. That's because it's been written into us. It's being written into us that, because I've always wondered, why did Israel flags always appear at our demos, even long time ago? You know, and with Europe doing what it's doing now with the, so this is what I was going to say. So I see European Union, and Israel actually having a lot in common. Because what was Europe set up for? What was the European Union set up for? It was it set up between steel firms or something? The idea was to try and prevent some kind of trade war that would end up being another world war, right? Something along those lines. But the idea was that it was a financial kind of union to stop war. Israel, a way of stopping anti-Semitism. Both of them have used that excuse to become expansionist, as every country before them ever did, by the way. So it's not that they're the only ones, as every country or empire has ever done before they came along. Everyone that's had a chance to take advantage of power does. Ultimately, the game is to be the most powerful country in the world, then you don't have to worry so much. So everybody's playing the same game. But the point of it being is some are doing it more subtly than others. And when you realise how embedded into our movement it is, and how funded our movement is, and I'm not talking about particular figures that I know about, I'm just talking about these flags that appear at every demo, I realise they're paid for. You know, there's been a lot of influence, but it's because we are the foot soldiers against Islam. That's why there's support for us. And then what they've done to the politics and the culture is they're making it synonymous that Israel and British values are the same thing. So to defend Israel is to be part of the British right. And it's working. And so the thing I'd say about that is, to the average person, bear in mind only 17% of people in Britain are religious anyway. To the average person, what does Israel mean to you? Beyond being a Middle East country. It's just a Middle Eastern country, right? Maybe one of the more sophisticated, but it's just a Middle Eastern country. So what's it doing involved in our politics? What's it doing involved having so much? Why is it laying the foundations? Why has it got access to all our security tech? Why? There's a lot of whys that you wouldn't give any other Middle Eastern country. Why is there mandatory support for it? Why is there no choice in that? Where's the democracy in that? Why is Israel so protected? It has big guns. It's a powerful country, more powerful than us. Why is it so protected? Why is everybody protecting Israel, not Latvia or Uzbekistan? Or why is it always Israel? And why are Christians that never used to talk about Zionism in the old days, all suddenly, well, about a year ago they were all coming out as Christian, and now they all want to be Christian Zionists? And you can say, oh, you're talking about religious stuff you don't know much about now. I don't need to know loads about religious stuff to know the terminology that people were and weren't using within the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. I can tell when vernacular changes, and it's changed. 8 years ago, if I'd gone round in the movement and said, who's a Zionist? Everybody would have said, not me. Not me. Everybody. Now, it's a badge of honour. What changed? That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying you're a bad person for doing it, because I realise there's things I don't understand. What changed? Like, these aren't questions of accusation. I'm saying to you, I'm trying to find out information as I can. And as much as I said I'm worried about what I'm going to find, I'm still looking for all types of information, good and bad. So, what changed? Why did people suddenly feel the need to defend it when it's quite capable of defending itself? Why did people feel a need to take a side in this in the Israel-Gaza thing where we don't in any other conflict? Other than perhaps the one reason I could think of is the fact that we originally set up the deal. Yeah, okay, maybe there's a connection there, but most people aren't even aware of it. You know? So, I don't know. But for me, when I think of other countries around the world, I could see the American connection, right? Because the culture is so similar. You know, I could see the connection with Australia. I could see the connection with certain other countries. It makes sense. It just makes natural sense to have a natural connection with them. Israel? It makes no sense to me. And there's no politics really happened other than that original piece that really makes us super allies. From everything they say, they don't think much of us. I'm trying to work it out. But I do think, and then there's them in the European Union. And then there's Saudi. So Saudi, dirty fucking thieves they are. I'm sorry, but you know what they're doing. If you don't by now, you should do. But to see them coordinating with Israel, how's that possible? How the fuck is that possible? Like we're being led to believe every day that these people are the worst of enemies. But they are coordinating very well. And it's not a conspiracy theory. I mean, they literally have agreements, military agreements, to share targeting information, radar information, all kinds of things. If one country can't reach a target and the other one can, and vice versa, yeah. So there's Iran creates that reason, by the way. So I understand why, but I'm just saying, you wouldn't think it. So there's just so many questions. And the only thing that's really bothering about it, because there's a lot of questions about everything in life, the only thing that really bothers me about it is the unwillingness of otherwise seemingly sane and rational people to answer, to talk, to entertain the idea of even discussing it. They sweep it aside like we should all just know what it is, know all about it, agree with it, and not question it. That's weird behaviour. I'm not going to just accept something that is being thrown around, potentially pushed on me. I don't know what it is. I don't know why it's being brought up now. I don't know why it's been talked about so much now, but everything I'm finding doesn't look fucking good. And I'm not talking about the homeland for the Jews idea. That's fine. I'm talking about the hardcore part, the much smaller part, but the more dangerous part, the governmental part, I suppose. And yeah, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. I'm sorry. It doesn't look fucking good for them. You know, I've been going at Saudi Arabia for a long time. But Israel should have been perhaps going at just as hard. They're doing the same thing in different ways. And arguably, and this is why I'll give credit, Israel's been smarter, much smarter than Saudi. Saudi are being like bulls in a china shop. They're just throwing capital around, which is going to make or break them. Israel have been a lot smarter with their money, their time, and their effort. They've done it at a political level, they've done it at a fundamental level, and they've taken the time, they've been patient, and they've grown it. If you're going to do it, the way they've done it is the right way. They've nurtured it. Whereas Saudi are just trying to knock down walls with it. And they're two totally different approaches. But the ultimate goal is actually very similar. And neither one of them gives a fuck that this is our country. And none of the people that have been in our country, running our country, selling it off to these CUNTs, or the businessmen, like I'll tell you what, Frank Warren. If you know who he is, you know who he is. If you don't, you don't. He's one of the older boxing OGs, promoters. Does a deal with a guy called Turki Al-Sheikh. Turkey. His first name's Turkey. We should be having a field day with that, right? Oh no. When you do a deal with these people, and it's no different with Israel, when you do a deal with these people, they will offer you crazy amounts of money compared to what you would. They will lose money by offering you more than you would ever make. And so our businessmen go belly up straight away and go, yeah, we do it. Even at the cost, Frank Warren, how proud Frank Warren is, even at the cost of go to meet these people, they make a deal, sign a contract to go to Saudi Arabia, never fucking talk bad of it, say good things about it, don't say that the atmosphere's shit even though it is, all this other stuff. But on top of that, the constant humiliation ritual of having to refer to Turkey as His Excellency. And then you see someone like Simon Jordan on TalkSport, mouthy Simon Jordan, yeah, who gives it to everybody. Was giving it to Turkey until he met him, and then he was calling him His Excellency. You don't meet these people and come away without saying His Excellency, because either the check's too big and the NDAs you sign. But everyone wants to make out this Turki Al-Sheikh is this big kid who just loves boxing. He wants to make it better for everybody. He's giving us all the fights we want. It's fucking crazy. But I won't go into that side of it because that's another whole deep side of it. But whether it's Israel or Saudi, the plan is the same. It's ugly. Neither of them, in fact, no country, even America, has no business in our internal politics. And they all have a place in our internal politics. Way too much. A dangerous amount. And they're using it. They're using it all the time. And they are... yeah. Again, I don't want to say things I haven't got to yet. But I can see the way this is going. And let's just say we haven't, with the European Union, we hadn't really run our country properly for 40 years. But with the help of other people as well, we haven't really run our country at all. And what we really need is leaders that come in now and actually run the country. Without... you have to have foreign policy, but what I mean is run the country without any external considerations at first. So you country first, external considerations second, and throw the rest of this shit out. I'm not saying don't do deals with Saudi. I'm not saying don't do deals with Israel. I'm not saying cut them off. I'm saying cut them out of Westminster. Cut them out of all power. Like, minimum you could do is cut them out of all power. You know, Israel, the government, has no business in our power structure. If you take them out, that's the minimum you should be doing. Then people like me might have to back off a little bit, but they're there. And again, Saudi, different route. They're taking over our culture. Whatever. Sorry. But I wanted you to know that I started this off as a guy, and I still know relatively nothing. I'm a guy that started this off. I've got no issue with the Jews, for a start. Yeah? I'm not a Jew hater, or I can't see me ever being like that. Again, Heisenberg theory stopped me from believing like that. So to me, this was all a bit of a joke. And even in doing this, I just thought a lot. I knew I'd find something, because it got, you know, you start picking things up as you go along. You start realising there must be some truth to some parts. But I didn't expect to find it's, again, like with our own government, when you try and find our own government's corruption, it's not hidden. And it's the same thing with Israel. You don't have to look very hard to find legitimate information. It's right out there in the world. It's not hidden. It's just that we don't take any notice, or we haven't been taking any notice. But yeah, try and talk to someone sensibly about this who is, let's say, I don't know, part of the crowd that go to the demos we go to. Well, I don't know even if that's fair. You know the type of people I'm talking about. And just talk to them about all of this and see if they don't call you racist just for asking. It ain't normal reaction to ask about why a Middle Eastern country has so much effect on us. I think it's a pretty normal line of inquiry, which is why Saudi got my attention in the first place. The reason Saudi got my attention before Israel was because Saudi was the ones doing it out in the open, even more in the open than Israel were. So that's the only reason it happened in that order. But yeah, you know, and again, I hate to have to keep doing this, but this is the environment we're living in. This doesn't mean I'm going to turn into a Jew hunter or anything. You know, it's certain other people out there, which I won't name, that keep turning into the Jews, yeah? For me, it's about the people that associate with this hardcore Zionism, which isn't that many, and the people in positions of power that are abusing it. Always the same people. Whichever country, always the same people. Yeah. And, I mean, I don't mind them abusing their positions of power, by the way. Just not in this country. Anyway, I think that's about it. Let me have a look to see if... Did I find my glasses in the end? Probably did, and now... Oh, yeah, hang on. So I'll catch up with you guys, and then I'm out. Because I'm going to catch a little bit of evening sunshine. Because I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight. See, the thing is, I want to... I want to go camping that, but I've got some stuff to do for tomorrow morning, because don't forget, tomorrow, guys, is the Untouchables. I'll be live on my channel, so me and Vin will be live on this channel tomorrow at 12 PM. So, yeah, remember that, guys, and I'll set it in a minute on my stream, so you know. And is that yeah? So just let you know that. So we'll be live on that. So I'm thinking. There's some things I need to set up tonight, so I may not go tonight, but tonight's going to be warm, so I don't know. We'll see what I can get done. Anyway, let me see if I can catch up with you guys a little bit. So I can't see all the comments on here, remember. We have a government that works for foreign interests, so therefore it is a foreign government. Yeah, exactly. The positive is that more people are waiting out and see if they're speaking out, yeah. So I can see that people being the chosen ones, and I think the Second World War they put the Nazis into Israel, calling them Jews. No, but I'm taking it in. Yeah, but say, and I get you, Darth Revan, I'm with you, but you say we fought over it for centuries. That's true, but we, being we, the Christian country, Now we're down to 17% Christians. Does that still hold true? Do you know what I mean? Like, the numbers are still... Sorry, I'm trying to... Yeah, you can't become PM without the backing of Israel. That is the way it is. Now, how does that work? And why Israel? And that's power over us. That's not us helping them. That's power over us. Why? And if you're not asking why at this moment, why not? Why would Israel have the right to decide who can and can't have power in this country? If that's not a question that makes you go, I don't know. Well, you know, we should only have UK flags that are pro-Yes. Yeah, I think I agree. I agree. It's not you active, is it? Can't be active. Hey Vin, I didn't see you there, buddy. WF has always been out in the open about what they want. Yes, that's, again, WF is another great one. And the other one is, I know it's a different subject, World Health Organization. They don't give a shit either. They don't give a fuck what we think. Yeah, that's true. Like, to be able to find unbiased information. Finding unbiased information is hard, but it's not impossible. First of all, you've got to detach yourself. If you can turn your own emotions off, it's great. Because that will help you. Because otherwise your own bias will kick in. So you've got to try and do it from a point of view of someone that knows nothing. Which for me was easy. But the second thing is to understand, if you can, I mean, some of this is hard to do. Try and understand, like, if you get a scientific source, try and find out where its funding is, or who's chairman of it, or whatever else. Because if they've got direct political funding, or direct funding from a group that you know is heavily political, one side or the other, then you know the results are not going to be scientific ones. They are going to be ones that are, they've set out to find something, which is not how you do science. You set out to disprove something. So you try and find people that are either self-funded with no political kind of bias and things like that, or people who are struggling for money. Genuine scientists are normally struggling for money, so they're not, and certain scientific papers that come out, things like that. And again, you know, just certain journalism that isn't perhaps so mainstream because it's not so full of drama, but it will give you some truth. Certain types of AI, if you know how to push weights. Books, the one thing that people disregard these days, that have some of the wealth of knowledge in still. Books, some amazing books that will tell you so much. Books are where I used to do most of my research. It's a forgotten art. Books I've got so much info in. No, it's not updated on a daily basis, but that's not always a bad thing, you know. So I hope any of that helps. I hope that helps someone. Hey, hey there, everybody. Hey, Dan. Hey, Bluebell. Good to see you all. Turn your emotions off. That's me, Goose. Yeah, we can all do it though. You can turn your emotions off for a while. You can do it for a while. Everybody can. I mean, sometimes you have to be put in a position to learn how to do it first. And I've been in a couple of positions where I've had to learn how to do it. But I think we all can for a while. You just become really detached. Like, you ever do meditation or anything like that? Do Zen meditation, just become fucking detached from everything. It doesn't mean you don't care, but you just become detached from things. We can just see things from a certain point of view. It's just like, I don't know. Let's say me and you are having an argument in my garden, but there's 3 floors up. And it's just like me just stopping the argument, pausing us two in the garden, and then going upstairs and looking out the top window and then restarting it and watching us two arguing from a different angle and listening to what we're arguing about, looking at myself, getting that different perspective. That's what it is you're just disassociating yourself with those emotions so you can get that perspective. This is by the way how I look at myself sometimes and what's the word, evaluate myself by going, oh, don't you sound a CUNT there? Don't you look like Mr. Cocky Bollocks there? You know, try and take myself out of my shoes and see myself not from somebody else's point of view, but almost from a camera point of view, where it's looking at me and I'm going, oh, you cocky twat, you know, trying to improve. But there's some people that won't put themselves in other people's shoes. But yeah, to do the research, I think it's a great thing to do. And I'll tell you another place you got to do it, probably where I learned it the most, is video editing. Because there's videos I'd be laughing all the way through or crying all the way through making them. But in order to make them, you've got to be... And the other thing as well is hearing your own voice. People don't like it. I'm no different. But in order to do the video editing, just switch yourself off to all of that. It's not about anything other than getting the video. Chop, 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 don't go, chop, chop. So I'm moving at 100 miles an hour. So again, you switch all your emotions off to do video editing. Otherwise, you'd be caught up in every little scene, wouldn't you? You know, but you just switch them off, and it's a great way of learning. And that's the other side of it. Sometimes you need to detach or you go mental, and that's why, you know, even when I used to do some of the hardest work, we always used to know when to have a laugh as well, because if you didn't let the fuse off by having a laugh, then it would come out another way, an uglier way. So it's always good. Hey Jason, it's always good to you know, to know when to hit the brakes as well with things. But yeah, you know, I wanted to explain in this video that at the moment, the way things are looking, I've got a bit of a bad feeling about what I'm finding, about what I'm going to find around the corner. Like, yeah, a bad feeling, like, oh fuck. And as a result, I just want you to understand, I came into this, like, 8 years ago, with no fucking idea of what the word even meant, Zionism. And certainly nothing against Israel. And still to this day, nothing against the Jews. But, yeah, over time, I picked bits up, and I've still chosen to ignore it. And now I'm in a position where I'm starting to realise that ignorance was dangerous, and therefore that ignorance was probably deliberate from other people's points of view, if you know what I'm trying to say, keeping you asleep again. So people keep thinking that we're awake, but the truth of it is there's different truths we've all got to wake up to at different times. You know, many people were awake about this subject a long time before me, but I guarantee I'm a lot more awake about AI than they are. But this is just life. But for me, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, and so I want people to understand that at this point, because I'm scared of what I'm going to find, I've never been against Israel. This has been a total journey from nothing to what I'm now scared of what I'm going to find, because it's not looking good. But it already doesn't, does it? You know, and I'm scared of how deep the rabbit hole goes. I truly am. At the same time, I will not look away from it, and I will not misreport it, and I will not hide anything I find. And because of that, what I'm going to find, that's why I'm making this video now. So that if I find something fucking awful, you don't think, oh, Tom's gone full this or full that. No, Tom's just gone full truth. And he's found full truth. And that's it. So, I've got nothing at the moment I'm about to say in the next video or anything, so please don't think I've found something. It's what I'm finding already, and I've already talked to you about, that is already disturbing me. It hasn't exactly been a hard graft to get the info. Conscription is coming. They've already warned people. Starmer already warned people straight out. Your kids are going to have to give up, basically, their lives and their youth. But that's another whole story. He needs to be gone. And I hope that will be May or June. But you never know. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, I wanted to do that little bit of explaining now, because I won't be doing that explaining. Hey, yeah. I won't be doing that explaining down the line. Not out of arrogance, not out of anger, but because if I start, again, I've always said with the disclaimer generation, and I hate it, if I have to start making disclaimers for every fucking thing before every video, you're going to switch off before you've even watched it, because you're going to think, when we're going to get to the content, yeah? Same for me in making the videos. By the time I've got to the content, I forgot what I was going to fucking say, because I've made all the disclaimers. Enough. This video is the disclaimer. I had no axe to grind here. But I do have an axe to grind with anybody I find fucking inside of our country, and I found them again, along with Saudi and others. So that's a problem, and we'll see what we find from here. Alright guys, listen, thank you for joining me, thank you for hearing me out, thank you for not calling me some of the names that people like to call people that question anything. In critical thinking, we have to ask questions that are uncomfortable. It's easy to say, for instance, it's easy now for people to criticize Muslims because they've been doing it for years now. But you've got to treat it evenly to all groups, including your own. It's not about bad groups, it's about bad people. And there's plenty of them in the world. If we don't start having the guts to call it out, no matter what shape or form it takes, that's where evil takes root. Doesn't matter if it's wearing a fucking... it doesn't matter if it's wearing a clergy's uniform, or it doesn't matter if it's wearing a doctor's robe. If it's bad, point it out. You know? Do a text disclaimer, run at high speed, Monty Python-esque, eh? We should question everything. We should. And then look what's happened with me. In questioning things, instant answers. Instant answers. Just in bothering to question. So it's not even like about to dig deep. So, and it just shows me how lazy we can be as well with this information, because it's right there. So question everything, absolutely. If you don't, the truth sat right there and you don't even realise it, because you've listened to other people who say, don't worry about that. You should worry about it. It's your country. You've got to live in it. And other people are deciding our quality of life. And how's your quality of life right now? So, anyway. Alright, bollock chops. Oh, it's you. Alright, Maddie. How you doing? Good to see you. I wondered who that was. I was about to go, oh, fuck, here we go. But no, it's you, Jace. Alright, buddy. Good to see you. When he owns a judiciary. Oh, I see. I'm with you. Right, guys. I am going to wind up, though. I said it's going to be quick. I'll tell you what. It's cool. It says it's 19 degrees. But for me, it's cooling down quick without the sunshine on me. I was really warm earlier. It's still beautiful, don't get me wrong. I'm going to go around the back and sit in the sunshine for a bit, I think. I was going to take you around with me, but I'm getting cold quick. I don't know if I want to go camping now or not. But, oh yeah, don't forget though, tomorrow, 12 PM, my channel this time, The Untouchables. Me and Vin going live at 12 PM tomorrow. Don't miss it, guys. And we'll catch you there, alright? I will set up a live. Take care, everybody. I haven't got my glasses on now, so I'm going to have to try and look at the blur. But I'll see you all you guys soon. You take care, yeah? I see my name. Is the tent in the front garden yet, Tom? No, not yet. But I'm having work done, that's why. But don't get me wrong, I have been very, very tempted. But I'm holding back. Hang on a second. I will enjoy it. Thank you, buddy. Tomorrow 12 PM, yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. I'm going to stop making a fool of myself now, because I don't know if I squint or not when I do that. Take care, everyone. I'm Tom Fury. This is Zero News. I really do appreciate you guys coming on. This is Zero News. I'm calling it day for now.
Father, please, you can have my Led Zeppelin records, George Michael, anything.
That's my boy!
Wimp.
Yeah. I don't know why, but something is wrong.
Rule Britannia.
The TV is crazy and the truth has gone. I might be crazy, but I think we're done. There are people out there who are adverse to fun.
Communism is king.
It's on your news. Even your neighbor has been here. You can see it on YouTube. It's time to shine a light on all the things they don't want you. Tom Generation Next. Oh, it's what's coming next. Tom Generation Next.
Commander War. Don't be a cunt.
The Honesty Channel from 0
I'm having such a good time.
Kill everyone on the bridge.
Having a ball.
It's gonna shine.
Fuck you, Mr. Roscoe.
Share it with you.
My name is Owen Jones, a renowned drama queen, pseudo-intellectual and champagne socialist.
That's for B4.
What can I do?